Everyone. First of all, well done with everyone's week. It's Friday again. And as after each week, I hope that some of our tips and tricks on how to use YouTube were helpful. There's definitely more comments, but there can always be more. So looking forward to more of your input on the channel. And yeah, you can always let me know, of course, if there's any particular questions that you've got. And also, I hope that some of you have actually joined in to our meditation on Wednesday, which was guided by Charlie. I would love to hear if you have. Again, it's something super personal, so obviously you don't have to share it with me. But if you have and you liked it and you feel like telling me, that would be really really awesome. Um, Today, I am just introducing Chef Michael, who is kicking off his Larder Living series. And in a separate video today, so today we're posting 2 videos in a day, I have someone really special that would like to say hi to you. I myself really, really excited, and it put a huge smile on my face, and I hope it will do the same to you. And enjoyed today's content, and thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for all the comments, thank you for the likes. This is really 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 amazing to see that you know that the channel is something that you enjoy, and we want to make it more relevant as we go along, and there's a lot of cool content coming next week, so stay tuned, and I'll see you next time here on Monday.
Oh, hi. I'm kicking off today's Larder Living series with a quick video on what else? How to stock up your larder. You know, having a bare cupboard can present some obstacles to cooking, especially if you're hungry and looking for something quick to eat. And there you are staring at a blank canvas. In this clip, we'll look at some tips for stocking up your store, and also I'll show you my idea for something I call a portable larder. This may be useful if you're sharing a kitchen with others. You know, the idea here for a portable larder is to give you some control and ease so you can continue cooking for yourself and creating the food that you love and enjoy. Oh, and as a quick extra, I'll show you an idea for something I have called a healthy larder. This is a kind of treasure chest of my favorite go-to foods for when I'm craving a snack. Let's take a look. Right, so I thought I would do a little illustration of setting up a portable larder box for you. If you're not sharing a kitchen with anybody, then that's fine. You don't have to have all your things in a box. You enjoy the space that you have and the control over your environment. If you don't have so much control over your environment, consider the healthy kind of control that you can have in a situation. And by this I'm thinking, well, you can't, there's so much that we can't control. But putting your favorite ingredients, the foods that really inspire you to cook in a box that you can then take away with you to keep under a watchful eye may be just what you need to facilitate, to inspire you to cook. Right, so I thought I'd do a bit of a demonstration with you to talk about putting your larder together, whether you've got your own dedicated space or if you're in a shared kitchen, using a box to exert some healthy control over your environment and to inspire you to cook. You know, my goal really is to remove barriers for you. What's standing between you and cooking? I also want to inspire you by inviting you to think about the kind of ingredients that you love that make your mouth water and make you want to cook. And cost is another barrier, so I'll talk a little bit about ways that you can save money in general with food, but also in particular with putting a box together, with putting a larder together. Okay, where should we start? Let's start with the beginning. So I've got a box, simple as that. If you've got something better, like a large plastic box, that's great, use that. But if not, this was from Amazon, so free, it's great. And what are the first things that I've got here? Okay, well, how about a can of beans? Beans are great. I can make a bean salad. I could make hummus out of these beans rather than using chickpeas. I could create pasta fagioli, so pasta and bean soup. Lots of flavor in beans. Okay, so that goes into the box. Some sardines. Actually, are these sardines? Nope, it's mackerel, even better. And I've got mackerel in brine and mackerel in tomato sauce. And so this is great if you're in a hurry with a tossed salad. It's a great source of protein, great source of flavor. You can add it to soups or stews. I buy dal sometimes, kind of dal soup at Sainsbury's. It's really inexpensive. And I stir the mackerel in at the last minute just to heat it through. And it's absolutely delicious. Right, what else? Got some pasta here, some penne, right? So, love pasta, some more beans, there's some butter beans. Popcorn. I love popcorn. Oh my gosh, popcorn's so great. So, that's definitely going to go into my larder box. And I love to make some at night when I'm feeling a bit of a craving. And often I'll make it with some curry powder and butter and salt, and oh my gosh, it's so delicious. So those are going into the box. Salt, right? Sea salt, right? Yeah. A note about costs, about saving some money. Packaged spices versus or bottled spices versus packaged spices. Now the cost difference between this is turmeric. Between a bottled version of turmeric and this turmeric is unbelievable. So I've got some prices here. Right, so for turmeric at Tesco's, I can get a jar of turmeric for £1.60, and I bought this bag for $1.99. And if you do the math on this, it's an incredible cost savings. So the jar works out to be 43p per 10 grams, and the bag is 5p per 10 grams. 43p versus 5p. So, oh my gosh, get the bag. It's a lot of turmeric, but you can share it with somebody. It doesn't go off. It'll stay a good long time, and you'll save yourself a lot of money. So go with the bigger bag versions if you can. Some pepper, some shallots, some garlic. I think the garlic I got at local Sainsbury's for 16p a head. It was something ridiculously cheap, so really, really cheap. Chicken stock cubes. If you're vegetarian or vegan, obviously get the vegetarian cubes. They're super tasty, super useful, and it's the beginning of lots of good things. Whether it's soup or if I'm making a risotto, or it's so versatile, so useful. So I love stock cubes. Chili flakes, this is one of the things I love, a little bit of heat, a little bit of fire at the last minute in a sauce that I'm making, for instance, or in some soup, or even on pizza. If I make some pizza, bring it in, it's super fiery, super peppery, really good. Hot pepper sauce, oh my gosh, definitely going in the box. Vinegar, right? Vinegar is a great, inexpensive source of flavor. In your cooking, it's essentially an acid. So if you're making a soup or a stew or a sauce, for instance, and it's a little bland, it's a little flat, sprinkle a little bit of vinegar, like you would maybe squeeze a lemon into what you're making, and it will help you balance your flavors, and it's miraculous. It's really great. And also the basis, of course, of a vinaigrette. So make sure you've got some vinegar in your box. Peanut butter, maybe it's because I'm American, but I just love peanut butter. If I'm really feeling a pang of hunger, apple, slice it in half, put a bit of peanut butter on there, and oh my gosh, it's super tasty, super healthy, and I feel better within 30 seconds, if not before. Peanut butter is also great for for pad thai. If you're making a marinade, for instance, you could put a bit of peanut butter, a bit of soy sauce, a bit of vinegar, and you've got yourself a great marinade for vegetables, let's say aubergine, or if you're doing chicken thighs, absolutely delicious. What else? Okay, sugar. I'm not a big sugar user, but brown sugar I absolutely love. So when I need something sweet and something that I'm making in a few moments of incredible desperation, I've just gone diving into this with a teaspoon, not too much, but oh my gosh, is that good? And there's something about the flavor of brown sugar that is just really great. I think in terms of nutrition, I wouldn't go too far out on a limb on this, but it definitely has more nutritional content than refined white sugar. And it's probably the reason that I really like it. It's sort of got a molassesy taste. So I know there's some mineral content going on in that product. Rice, there's some rice, definitely rice in the bag. Honey, soy sauce, so this is dark soy sauce. This is actually good value for money because unlike the lighter soy sauce, you need less of it. So it goes further and it's really delicious and whatever you like in marinades and rice, in soup, in whatever. It's just great. Okay, last thing I think is tahini. And tahini is something that I really love. It's sesame paste, and I have it on toast almost every morning for breakfast with Marmite. And it's just wonderful. Of course, it's the basis of things like hummus and baba ganoush, which is made with mashed aubergines. So absolutely love tahini. That's definitely going in the box. Right, so wow, I've got some huge inspiration here in front of me. It's a lot of stuff. Don't feel overwhelmed by that. Start small and start with the things that you really love. The things that add a lot of literally spice to your life, to your cooking. The things that feel good to have a little dash of or a little spoon of. And also really consider the nutritious things, for instance, like brown rice. For me, this is something that's like a staple, super healthy. Beans, sardines, mackerel. So it's, sort of stuff that just picks me up in a hurry and is also the basis of some really great meals and definitely a source of inspiration when I'm not feeling like cooking. So I hope that's helpful, and there you go. Oh, I almost forgot. You can take a similar approach to setting up a little kind of equipment larder, if you will, as I did with the food larder. So the idea here again is to put the really essential things that you need in terms of equipment, tools together in one place, so you don't have to go looking for them, and so that you've got the basic building blocks for doing some cooking at home. So I'm using an old yogurt pot here, quite nice, quite useful. And what's going into my equipment larder, if you will. So some measuring spoons, yeah, whisk, yeah, rubber spatula, right? Can't beat that. Potato masher. This I found at Tesco's for 60 or 70p, and it's nylon. It's super strong, really great for making mash. Can't beat it. If you don't want to mash garlic with a knife, you can use a garlic press. So that's really useful item. Vegetable peeler, all right. Kitchen scissors. I'd be lost without them. So that's going into the pot. Some bags, some Ziploc bags, right, or sealable bags. This is reused one from, what was it, apricots, dried apricots. They're really tough, really sturdy, and great for putting in spices if you buy a lot of spice, or if you've got leftovers, they can go in there. Anything that you want to keep fresh and together. Really, really handy. I've got a bunch of those. And lastly, we'll talk about knives. A minimum, I would say, is a paring knife. You can get a lot done with a paring knife if you don't have the money or the want to invest into a big knife set. I saw these at Tesco's for, I think they were £2 each, and they had a set of 3. So it was a paring knife, a serrated knife, and a chef's knife, about a 6-inch chef's knife for £6. So not a bad price at all. So that's carefully going into the pot. And what else? Oh yeah, almost forgot. Um, Cutting board, chopping board. So I found this again at the large Tesco's. I think it was £2. So this is really, really useful, especially well for cooking, obviously. But if you're in a shared kitchen, have your own cutting surface so that you don't have to worry about food hygiene. You can look after your own. So there you go. Just the basics, and I'm ready to cook with fire. Right. Here's a little bit of a bonus for you if you're not too boxed out at this point. And this is something that I call a healthy hamper or a health chest. And the idea is it's something that helps me to eat better when hunger strikes by putting something in my way. And that's this basket right here, which I've got filled with foods that I really, really, really love, really enjoy. And it's better than, it's kind of like a concentrated larder. So I could keep all these things in my larder, but this, I keep it in clear view, in plain view in my kitchen, so that when hunger strikes, I'm more intentional about what I eat, and I go for something that's probably going to be better for me than if I were just mindless about how I was gonna satisfy my hunger. For me, being mindless about eating usually means going to some kind of junk food or some kind of processed food that I know will satisfy an immediate need, but over time could really over time could be not doing great things for my health. Why this works for me is it's intentional. Rather than just let myself fall into a kind of mindless habit, it's something I've made a commitment to, a decision about, and it seems to be working pretty well for me. And also, it's a visual thing for me. I really like this basket. I think I got it at IKEA. It was not expensive, and it's in my visual path anytime I go into the kitchen. So I'm going to hit this first before I get into other things. All right, so what do I have in mind? Health chest and my healthy hamper. I've got some walnuts in an old jam jar here. Love nuts. Some almonds. Some currants. So a little bit of sugar and fruity acidity when I'm feeling low. Handful of those. This really satisfies my hunger. I know I'm getting some fiber, I'm getting some nutrition, so I think it's a good kind of food to snack on. Not much of these left, but I've got some toasted pumpkin seeds, which are really tasty, and prunes. May not be your thing, but absolutely adore prunes. So they're going into my healthy hamper. And this kind of falls under my 80-20 rule that I've talked about in our Eat Well, Be Well session. So this is some naughty but nice stuff. So I've got some dark chocolate here that's from Sainsbury's. It's their brand. It's relatively cheap. And I've got a single Jaffa cake left. Oh my gosh, where did the rest of the Jaffa cakes go? I don't know. It couldn't have been me who ate them. But that's when I really need something really in a moment of desperation, or I just need to cheer myself up a bit. I go into that jar. And it falls into my 80-20 rule, right? So that's basically 80% of the time I'm eating well, I'm staying away from processed food, from junk food, and 20% of the time I'm eating the stuff that I really, really love. And I know that in the big picture, this is a kind of realistic approach, and it's a healthy approach for me. It'll definitely be good for my mind and my body. So I hope that that's helpful to you. So thanks for joining today. I hope these tips can inspire you to cook some delicious food now and in whatever kitchen you find yourself. And I'll leave you with a few calls to action that may be useful in the week ahead. 1. Stock up your larder with ingredients that you love, whether it's in a cupboard or a box, from the wholesome ones to the ones that inspire you with ginormous flavor and pow. 2. Experiment with creating your own health chest or whatever you want to call it, and put your favorite foods, mostly wholesome, mostly unprocessed, in easy reach. Finally, what are your favorite top 5 larder ingredients? Share your larder love with your fellow grads and put your ideas in the space below. Thanks. I hope you have a good week and enjoy cooking and eating well.